The sun was still hanging low when Maya first saw the hollow. At 16, she had always loved adventure. Trails, hikes, anywhere her parents wouldn't follow. This trip was supposed to be perfect. 3 days in the woods, sleeping under the stars. But the woods didn't feel right. The silence hit them first. No birds. No insects. No wind through the branches. Feels like the whole place is holding its breath, Nora muttered, pushing her glasses up her nose. Eli, Maya's younger brother, stayed close, gripping his backpack straps until his knuckles turned white. "It's just a forest," Maya said, though her voice was softer than usual. Mr. Parker, their camp guide, walked at the front of the group, his expression unreadable. The road ended at a cluster of buildings, old, sagging into one another like drunks trying to stay upright. Doors missing and grass grown tall, swallowing the path. "Welcome to Greystone Hollow," Parker said flatly. Eli frowned. "This is where we're staying?" "Just for tonight," Parker said. "Trail picks up on the far side." They began unloading gear, but something about the houses pulled at Maya. She swore they leaned in different directions every time she blinked. "Let's check it out before dark," Jonah said, stepping onto the porch of the largest building, what looked like the old foreman's lodge. The wood groaned under his weight. Inside, the air was thick with dust and something sour. Their footsteps left trails in the grime, but there were other prints there already. Bare feet. Small. Leading deeper. "Nope," Eli said immediately. "I'm out." But Maya was already moving forward, flashlight beam cutting through the gloom. A long room stretched ahead, benches overturned, papers scattered. A ledger still open on a desk as though abandoned mid-entry. On the far wall, something had been scratched into the wood. Deep gouges. Numbers and tallies. Weeks. Maybe months. "Apparently someone was here a while and they were keeping track," Nora whispered. Then came the sound. A single, creaking step from upstairs. They froze. Parker was first to move, gesturing them out. "Whatever it is, we don't need to meet it." They stepped outside just as the sun dipped below the horizon. And for the first time since they'd arrived, the wind began to blow. The campfire crackled weakly, as if reluctant to stay lit. Eli sat close to Maya, staring into the flames. "Do you think someone's still here?" he asked. "Just animals, Eli," Maya lied. From somewhere beyond the firelight came a sound. A short, sharp laugh. It was gone as quickly as it came. "That wasn't an animal," Jonah said. The wind picked up, cold. Trees shifted at the edge of the clearing just a little, as though something was standing there. "No one leaves camp tonight," Parker said firmly. But as Maya lay in her sleeping bag later, staring at the canvas above her, she swore she could hear it. Footsteps. Soft. Circling the tent. The forest was silent when they woke the next morning, but something was wrong. Sleeping bags were half unzipped. The ground scuffed as if someone had struggled. Nathan was gone. No footprints. No trail. Just his backpack tipped over, flashlight dead. They called his name until their throats burned, but the only answer was the wind, bending the branches overhead like they were whispering secrets. Then came the sound. A dragging noise, soft, steady, somewhere beyond the trees, like something pulling something heavy through wet leaves. They followed, hearts hammering, until the sound stopped. The clearing they found felt colder than the rest of the forest. Nothing there. Nothing except a single shoe. Nathan's shoe, lodged in the branches 10 feet above them, swinging gently. Before anyone could speak, a scream ripped through the forest. It was Nathan's voice, but twisted like there was something else screaming with him, doubling the sound until it felt too loud. Panic cracked through the group like lightning. 2 of them turned to run, but the others grabbed them back, insisting that they'd only get more lost if they scattered. When they finally regrouped around the fire pit, they saw what had been left behind. The ashes were smeared as if something had dragged through them. Deep claw marks gouged the dirt, fresh and wet, and then the smell hit. coppery, sour, like meat left too long in the sun. The woods felt closer now. The trees seemed to press in on all sides. Every compass pointed in a different direction. With nowhere else to go, they spread out to search, but the woods swallowed them whole. Every step crunched leaves, but now there were other steps too, just behind them. Breaths that weren't theirs stirred the air. Somewhere in the distance, a low chuckle rolled through the branches like fog. That was when the laughter started. Soft, mocking, everywhere. Panic rose, and this time they knew they had to do something. But what? They wondered. They ran endlessly until they found the cabin. By the time they stumbled on the cabin, night was falling. The cabin door stood half open, like it had been waiting. Inside, the air was thick, wet, choking. Symbols scratched into the walls, deep gouges curling the wood. And on the floor, carved violently enough to still splinter, were the words, "Leave it behind." Dust lay over everything, except the table. There sat an open, rotting leather journal. Maya turned another brittle page of the journal. "They came here looking for timber, just like the rest of us," the entry read. "But the forest wouldn't let them leave. Every man that tried was brought back. Or worse." Parker's face was pale in the beam of her flashlight. "This place. It was a logging camp," he said slowly. "Early 1900s. They shut it down after half the men disappeared in a single season. It's in the county records. They called it the Greystone Vanishings." The words sat heavy. Nora, who had grown up on old internet forums, swallowed hard. People still talk about this online. Missing hunters, campers. It's like Dyatlov Pass, but here, no one ever figured out what happened. Eli hugged himself. "So, what did they take?" The dragging sound came again, closer this time, wet and slow, circling the cabin. Jonas gripped the journal, reading faster. "We buried it," the final entry said. "We buried it. Deep, marked with stones, but still, it calls. If you find this, leave it. Leave everything." A sharp knock hit the door. Then silence. When they dared to look outside, the clearing was empty, except for a new pile of stones in the dirt, arranged in a perfect circle. And at the center, Nathan's flashlight. Still warm. They sat in silence for a long time, staring at the circle of stones. Parker crouched, running a hand through the loose dirt. "This wasn't here yesterday," he said quietly. Eli shivered. "So someone was here. Someone made that. Or something," Jonas muttered. Maya kept her eyes on the stones. They were packed carefully, almost deliberately, like a grave. "Maybe Nathan's under there," Nora said before she could stop herself. The thought turned everyone cold. They all stayed close that night, keeping everyone in sight. Then, sometime past midnight, they heard a sound. Dragging. Soft and steady. Somewhere in the woods. Then it stopped. Maya held her breath, heart hammering. She could hear breathing, slow, careful, just outside the thin fabric. Then silence again. When she finally dared to unzip the flap, there was nothing there. Only a wet footprint in the dirt. Small but human. By morning, the stones were gone. So were Nathan's backpack and shoes. No footprints, no signs of animals. Just gone. Parker said nothing as they packed their things. The trail should have been easy to find again. He had walked it dozens of times, but by afternoon, they were still circling the same patch of woods. Compass needles spun uselessly. Late in the day, they stumbled into a clearing. At its center was an old burned tree, hollowed out by fire long ago. Someone had carved words into the trunk. "Leave it behind." Below that, a cluster of names. Faded. Weathered. At the bottom, freshly cut, was Nathan's. Jonas swore he saw another one appearing under it, half-formed, still shallow. His own. By dusk, they found the trail again, or what looked like it. Parker kept checking his map, frowning more with every stop. This should take us back to the main trail, he muttered for the third time. But every path they tried seemed to lead them in circles. By late afternoon, they found themselves at the edge of a clearing. The ground was scorched in a wide circle, as if there had been a fire here years ago. Jonas broke first. Let's just go. We're wasting time. When they finally picked up a trail again, the sun was already dropping low. Even when they reached what looked like the edge of the forest, no one celebrated. They walked fast, almost running. But Maya kept glancing over her shoulder as she saw a figure far behind them. It stood still, staring, almost like it was saying goodbye. She swore she could still hear him. Nathan. She knew they could still save him, yet she felt helpless as they ran to save themselves. And so, Nathan's fate remained unknown. Were they wrong to have left Nathan behind to save themselves? Or was he beyond saving? Tell me what you think in the comments section. Click the like and subscribe button to support this channel. See you in the next video.